Members' motion with no legislative effect. Members who wish to speak, please press the request to speak button. The Council will proceed to a debate on Professor Priscilla Leung's motion on charting Hong Kong's first five-year plan and deepening the development of Hong Kong as an international legal hub. Two members will move amendments to the motion. This Council will proceed to a joint debate on the motion and the amendments. I'll first call upon Professor Leung to speak and move the motion. Then I'll call upon Dr. Thomas So and Ms. Carmen to speak in sequence, but they may not move the amendments at this stage. The joint debate now begins, and I'll call upon Professor Leung to speak and move the motion. President, I move that the motion is printed on the agenda be passed. At the moment, the geopolitics are really intensifying. We are facing a very serious challenges since World War II. As Chinese, I feel really proud that President Xi has expressly told the world about the community of shared future for mankind. This shows the great nation's position. In the new era, we should be nurturing a generation of talents who are knowledgeable about world affairs, and this has to do with the world's destiny, the country's destiny. This is also about the future of peace in the world. Under one country, two systems, Hong Kong cannot be absent from this development. Hong Kong should become the shining pearl of the world. Hong Kong has got our mat set up in Hong Kong. In May, we're also preparing for the establishment of the Hong Kong International Commercial Court. And this is aligned with the 15th Five-Year Plan, and that is to take part in the economic development. In the two sessions working report, it is stipulated that we should be serving the nation in terms of diplomacy. I've advocated that in the GBA we should set up the Hong Kong Commercial and Civil Court. Now we are actually developing the Hong Kong International Commercial Court as an international legal hub. I think Hong Kong should set the bar higher. There are two objectives that we should have. First, within 5 years' time, we should become the top-notch legal brand, and that is a world first. The second objective is to make Hong Kong a stable, safe, and secure, and free investment center. Hong Kong should become a most effective investment hub. To achieve these two objectives, President, I think we should be receptive to different talents. We should attract talents from all over the world and tell a good story of one country, two systems. As to the International Commercial Court, we should take advantage of the experience of other places. In Dubai and other places, they've already set up the International Court for Financial Matters and the Commercial Court. They've managed to attract a lot of overseas investment. In Dubai, 90% of the international financial matters are handled online. In Singapore, they allow the litigation parties to come into an agreement for cases to be dealt with by the International Commercial Court, despite the cases are not involving Singapore. So in our International Commercial Court, we should have a high degree of flexibility in order to attract people from different jurisdictions and different legal systems. As to the cross-boundary economic and commercial cases, they can be referred to the Hong Kong International Commercial Court so that it will be able to build sufficient jurisprudence and build a legal brand for Hong Kong. Second, we should mount publicity to publicize the work of IOMAT. During the 2 sessions, Vice President Deng reiterated that the IOMAT should be strengthened. I've taken part in the ministerial meeting of the WHO. I've also taken part in RCEP's international seminars. I find that the leaders, world leaders, regarding the one country, two systems, they know very little about the details, like the cross-boundary contracts. They're not using Hong Kong as the seat for arbitration. So third, I think we have to publicize Hong Kong's advantages to the corporates and encourage more multinationals, national companies to enter into the contract a clause for Hong Kong IOMAT, Hong Kong Arbitration Center to be written into the contract, or the new arbitration center in North Metropolis. They can also be used, and that way we can enhance the utilization of our services. We should also seek to have, like Thailand, to have organizations from the UN to be set up here to show the world, the global community, our strength and our advantages. It is not only me who advocated this. Look, Jeremic, when he visited Hong Kong, already said that Hong Kong does have the right condition to become headquarters of the UN and also its branches. So we should really seek to have the friendly partners to come to Hong Kong and promote Hong Kong's advantages. Fifth, I think we should have a robust talent pipeline, including lawyers, judges, and professors. I hope that the International Legal Talent Training Academy should really upgrade themselves so that the top-notch judges and professionals can come to Hong Kong to give lectures. The government should devote more resources to encourage more private organizations to cooperate with IOMAT and to provide training regarding the international law, Islamic law, Sharia law, and so on. We should have talents in this regard. President, any reform will need law. In this high-tech era, we should tie in with different sectors to nurture talents like green finance, aerospace, digital economy, and space economy, and so on. We should loosen up the barrier. Look forward to hearing from members in this regard. We should build a clear brand that Hong Kong talents really are good enough. We have a new astronaut from Hong Kong, and one of my students at City University has been elected as an appeal judge at the UN. I don't think Hong Kong should be content with the internship. We should have more talents to be stationed in the UN to become the judges at the UN court. We can have the RCEP and to be involved in the day-to-day hearing. Finally, at this important historic juncture, we should let the Taiwan compatriots know about the advantages of one country, two systems. Hong Kong becomes the freest, stable, and safe investment center simply because we have one country, two systems. I'm sure that the attractiveness of one country, two systems would foster the peaceful unification across the strait. I'm sure that this is the common aspiration among the compatriots. I hope the members support my motion.
係梁美芬議員嘅議案。
I will now call upon Professor Priscilla LEUNG to move the motion. Mr. Thomas Chung, President, I speak to support the motion proposed by Professor Priscilla LEUNG and the two amendments. Law is the foundation of different sectors. It will build a legal hub, and as we establish a dispute resolution center in Hong Kong, it will enhance our competitiveness as well as consolidating our positions in the 15th Five-Year Plan as one of the 4 centers. Through the proposal of my amendments, I would like to set out the following 2 amendments. First, to make good use of our advantages and to make good use of the one-stop dispute resolution center of Hong Kong. Litigation, arbitration, and mediation are the 3 major ways of dispute resolution. Hong Kong has 2 great opportunities in this regard. First of all, the headquarters of IOMAT is established in Hong Kong. Second, we will also have the International Commercial Court established in Hong Kong. We have to make good use of these advantages to become a one-stop dispute resolution center. First of all, the headquarters of IOMAT is setting in Hong Kong, showcasing the trust of the international community in Hong Kong. We should make good use of this hybrid model, that is mediation plus arbitration, to establish a new culture. I suggest that the government should continue to enforce the promotion of mediation culture. For instance, to include such clause in the civil servants contract and use media first, so that Hong Kong can become a unique center that put mediation first, arbitration second, and litigation the last. And also to adopt mediation as the most basic dispute resolution mechanism. The establishment of International Commercial Court has completed our ecosystem. Together with mediation and arbitration, we will be able to offer a multi-pronged approach in dispute resolution. And our system is having the competitive edge of transparency. The ruling can also be implemented in Chinese mainland. We can also invite senior judge or law practitioners from other jurisdictions to rule over the cases and on a project basis. And the commercial law in Hong Kong is one of the key building block of our system. Therefore, the International Commercial Court will follow the international law community's practice, and it also enhance the reputation of Hong Kong. Second, promotion of digitalization. AI-powered legal industry, including the use of vertical large model, supporting the search of case law, comparison of regulations, drafting of law, which enhance our quantity and quality. Through digitalization, the sector will be able to remain competitive, and it can also support the state-owned enterprises to go global. Since the government supports the exploration and development of vertical large model, they still believe that the industry shall take the lead. However, in the legal sector in Hong Kong, most of the law firms are of small and medium-sized. It will be very difficult for them to direct their own AI engine. In order to promote this direction, the government has to roll out specified policy. For example, to set out project-based funding scheme to put together certain platform so that it will take the lead in developing vertical large model and enhance the upgrading of AI of the sector to support the enterprises that will go global. We should also take reference of other common law systems to develop a more comprehensive dispute resolution ODR system. Although Hong Kong has yet rolled out the ODR system, however, the ICMS legal tools are already providing certain foundation as an online platform. I also believe that it will also make room for arrangements of the trials of remote trials. I hope that we will continue to promote ICMS and to roll out online digital legal service platform as soon as possible. All in all, through the setting up of headquarters of IOMAT and International Commercial Center, Hong Kong has to consolidate itself as a one-stop dispute resolution center which comprises of mediation, arbitration, and litigation. We shall continue to enhance our reputation in the common law jurisdiction. Thank you, President. That's all from me. Ms. Carmen. Thank you, President. I'm thankful for the motion proposed by Professor Priscilla LEUNG as well as the amendment by Thomas So. According to the 15th Five-Year Plan, we shall deepen Hong Kong as the dispute resolution center. According to President Xi, the rule of law is the best business environment. with the establishment of different institutions in Hong Kong, it is also consolidating this position. I want to supplement in how legal system will empower our business environment. First of all, I would like to speak about the digitalization of our legal system. I very much agree with what Thomas Sowell has said. According to the ruling principle released by the end of 2024, I agree that we have to make best use of digital assets. In the time of AI, digital is the foundation of efficient governance. I suggest that the government shall establish laws in this regard as soon as possible. Second, in terms of use case, I am smart is one of the major showcase. Since we are establishing the registration of EMPF, we are also using I am smart to set up bank account. I trust that there will be even more use cases in the future. In order to facilitate the usage of that, we have to break through the barriers between the government applications and personal usage. Second, we also have to strengthen ourselves as a platform that enable enterprises to go global and to bring in foreign funds. Since the TPSK has already established the B2B document electronicization consultation this March, I believe that we should roll out such measures that are proposed in the policy address in 2025. Next, I will speak of the establishment of international commercial court that is due within this year. This is an encouraging news. I suggest that Hong Kong shall continue to promote itself as a center which comprises of litigation, arbitration, and mediation, so that we can continue to integrate even more functions and provide diverse options to those involved and become a even more important center in the community. Perhaps you might ask, what are the differences? For arbitration, it is beneficial because the ruling is final, and it's also have the implementation power given by New York Convention without becoming a case law in the future. For mediation, the mediator will facilitate the negotiation and agreement. It is very flexible. As for litigation, it is one of the judicial procedures. It is transparent, and it also comes with appeal procedures. It is also executionable. Also, Hong Kong has a mutual arrangement for the civil and commercial rulings. It can be mutually implemented. It is a very unique edge that we have. The establishment of International Commercial Court will support our ruling and help it to be even more up to the international standard and fulfill the expectations of the related parties. It will also enhance our impact and quality of our rulings. I urge the government to provide even more resources in order to make good use of our potentials. Finally, we have to strengthen the cooperation between the legislature and the judicial within the GBA. There are three major principles. First of all, we have to found ourselves on the characteristics of one country, two systems, three jurisdictions. We also have to adjust our policies in a timely manner according to the local circumstances, so that we can become a strategic fulcrum of the new development pattern according by President Xi Jinping. And we also have to remember that allowing Hong Kong investor enterprises to adopt Hong Kong law and to choose Hong Kong as the seat of arbitration is being supported by the Supreme Court PRC. I trust that more promotion and explanation is required. While actually in the Huang Guang clearance board, it is one of the major examples in this regard. It is offering a lot of convenience and bringing easier access of the flow of pedestrians. President, we have to deepen the connection of the two mechanisms. In 2024, the DOJ has already released the action plan. I expect that the government will continue to tell the good stories of Hong Kong regarding its international competitive edge in the legal sector, so that we can continue to attract talents and funds. President, I urge you support the motion of Priscilla Leung, Mr. Thomas Sowell, and myself.
Under Secretary for Justice. Deputy President, first of all, I thank Professor Priscilla Leung for her motion. I also thank Dr. Thomas Sowell and Ms. Carmen for their amendments. Being connected with the country, having the backing of the country and being connected with the world is our institutional strength. In the starting year of the country's 15th five-year plan, the Hong Kong SAR government is preparing our very own five-year plan so as to transform this unique strength into specific actions with a view to contributing our strength to the high-quality developments of the country. Last month, the Department of Justice has hosted a consultation session on the five-year plan of Hong Kong. We have heard the invaluable views from the legal, dispute resolution, and business sectors. Today, I'm very happy to listen to members' views. A number of areas in the 15th five-year plan have significant meaning to Hong Kong, including the legal sector, that include clear support for Hong Kong to deepen our position in terms of international legal and dispute resolution service center, intellectual property trading center, and also supporting Hong Kong and Macau to contribute our strength to the high-quality development of Belt and Road, leveraging our professional services to help mainland enterprises go global, while supporting the International Organization of Mediation to play a larger role. Many of the DOJ's work are aligned with the 15th five-year plan. In the following, I will highlight several points. 1. Continuously enhancing the legal framework. The DOJ is dedicated to keeping Hong Kong's legal framework abreast with time, so as to maintain our international competitiveness, as well as the position as an international legal hub. In terms of arbitration, last September, we have established the Working Group on Arbitration Law Reform, so as to formulate reform proposals on the arbitration ordinance to make sure that our arbitration law stays ahead of international developments. At the same time, we are actively deepening our mediation culture to forge Hong Kong into the capital of mediation. We're now taking forward the work on amending the mediation ordinance so as to enhance the regulation on accreditation for the mediation profession. Second, deepening the building of Hong Kong as an international legal hub and tie in with the Hong Kong International Legal Service Building being constructed. The establishment of the headquarters of the International Organization of Mediation in Hong Kong reflects the importance attached to Hong Kong by the central government and the confidence placed in Hong Kong by the international community. We will continue to provide full support to the operation of the IOMED, including secondments of DOJ's government councils to work at the secretariat of the IOMED. The DOJ is preparing for the construction of the Hong Kong International Legal Service Building adjacent to the headquarters of the IOMED. The building will house the Hong Kong International Legal Talents Training Academy headquarters, as well as other international legal and dispute resolution service body. Floor space will be reserved for the expansion of the IOMED headquarters. In addition, we will continue to attract international legal bodies to set up in Hong Kong. With the support of the central government, UNIDROIT, the International Institute for the Unification of Private Law, will establish a liaison office in the Hong Kong legal hub within the year, the first such office being established overseas. 3. Continue to deepen the building of foreign-related law in the GBA as well as mutual legal assistance mechanism on civil and commercial matters. The GBA boasts the unique strength of one country, two systems, and three jurisdictions. In April 2024, the DOJ has published the action plan on the construction of rule of law in the GBA. Achievements have already been made. In terms of alignment of rules, the applicability scope of the measures of allowing Hong Kong investor enterprises to adopt Hong Kong law and choose Hong Kong as the seat of arbitration has been expanded since last year with more cumulative precedents. We will follow up on the implementation details, including gauging the business sector's feedback, so as to create favorable conditions for further expansion of the measures. The legal departments of the three places have jointly formulated GBA rules, including mediation model rules. The panels of GBA arbitrators and mediators have been established. As a next step, the DOJ will promote the construction of a platform pulling together the arbitration and mediation bodies of the three places so as to promote the use of GBA standards. In terms of alignment on mechanisms, in April this year, The DOJ has entered into new arrangements with the Supreme People's Court concerning the mutual service of judicial decisions in civil and commercial proceedings. With more manners of service and high efficiency, we will strive to complete the legislative work to implement the arrangements. The new arrangements can effectively respond to the industry's call over many years to overcome the hurdles of cross-boundary service of judicial documents. In terms of connecting talents, the GBA's lawyer team is playing its role. The pilot scheme will expire in October this year. We will strive to regularize this system and continue to nurture and develop a talent force which is familiar with the legal system of both places. 4. Leveraging our professional services, including the legal sector, to help businesses go global. The 15th Five-Year Plan clearly states that we need to leverage on our professional service strengths to help businesses go global. For that purpose, in last December, we have established the Hong Kong Professional Services Go Global platform. We have also published a collection of success stories of enterprises going global, including different professional areas like legal, financial, accounting, and dispute resolution sectors, covering different industries and investment locations. We are preparing for the publication of the second edition of the collection of success stories to showcase Hong Kong's strengths as a premium choice of springboard. Now, last month, we have published the panel list of Hong Kong legal service providers supporting Go Global to match enterprises with legal service providers in Hong Kong according to their needs. We will update the panel list in a timely manner to ensure that enterprises' needs are met, as well as reflecting the latest developments of our legal service sector. Last week, the Chief Executive led a delegation comprising local and mainland business representatives to visit Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. I also joined the delegation in the capacity of the Undersecretary for Justice and the Chairman of the Experts Committee on Professional Services for Going Global. We promoted Hong Kong's professional services, and we have witnessed the building of relationship between Hong Kong and mainland enterprises and the local enterprises. We plan to host matching activities in mainland cities to provide a platform for professional service providers to match with enterprises. 5. Continuing to promote our strength in common law. The Secretary and myself will continue to lead delegations comprising the legal and other professional sectors to visit mainland cities and other major markets to promote our common law system. Now, during the Central Asia mission led by the Chief Executive, I've explained Hong Kong's common law system, which is connected with the international world, and how it can help with the developments of the Central Asian region. The DOJ plans to lead a delegation comprising the Hong Kong legal sector to Central Asian countries to promote legal cooperation projects with Belt and Road countries and leverage the strength of our common law system. 6. Continuing to promote legal talent training. The DOJ is actually aligning with the 15th Five-Year Plan's objectives to create a hub of international high-end talents in Hong Kong and Macau, and also accelerating the building of foreign-related law system and capacity, enhancing capacity building of international legal talents, as well as enhancing talent exchange. Now, for that, the DOJ will focus on developing the Hong Kong International Legal Talent Training Academy. Since the commissioning of the academy, it has already provided training for more than 2,000 individuals from the world. If resources allow, the academy will continue to organize programs on legal capacity building, as well as strengthening exchange and studies in relation to international and regional legal matters, so as to enhance the country's discourse power in terms of global governance and foreign-related legal affairs. Now, besides the above work, we will also continue to support various bureaus on legal matters in various areas of development. Now, as mentioned by Dr. So and Ms. Carmen, just last month, the judiciary has just announced that It plans to establish the Hong Kong International Commercial Court within the next year as a dedicated court under the High Court to deal with complicated and high-value cross-boundary international business disputes. Reputable judges from other common law jurisdictions will be allowed to participate in the hearings. Together, the Hong Kong International Commercial Court and the existing arbitration and mediation service providers have formed a diversified dispute resolution service framework which meets the country, Hong Kong, and international business community's needs and aspirations. There will also be new opportunities for the industry. The Hong Kong SAR government will fully support the preparatory work of the Hong Kong International Commercial Court. In addition, I'm aware that members mentioned the regulation on emerging sectors, including AI, digital assets, flow of data, and low-altitude economy. Now, besides providing financial support and policy support for the relevant industries, the government will also monitor the developments of the trend and establish regulatory framework which is aligned with the international standard in a timely manner to ensure orderly developments of these emerging sectors. For that purpose, we will continue to work with the relevant bureaus to take forward the work, including legislative proposals. I will listen carefully to members' views and give a consolidated reply concerning members' invaluable views in the closing session. I so submit. Thank you.
陳
Ms. Maggie Chen, President. I speak to support the motion of Professor Priscilla Leung as well as the amendments from fellow members. I would like to speak on the strategic framework of industry, academia, research and application. In the past year, we can see the fruitful accomplishment of the judicial sector in Hong Kong, including the headquarters of IOMAD, the preparation of International Commercial Court, as well as the policy measures of allowing Hong Kong invested enterprises to adopt Hong Kong law and to choose Hong Kong as the seat of arbitration. However, we also have a lot of challenges. We see a complicated shortage of manpower. We also lack IT capability among the small and medium-sized law firms. We also hope to enhance the efficiencies of proceeding cases at court. Therefore, I would like to make the following proposals, hoping to be incorporated in the 5-year plan of Hong Kong. First of all, to establish our own roadmap, KPI, as well as interdepartmental policies so that we can be training seamlessly both litigation, arbitration, mediation, as well as related legal talents. We also have to establish clear regulations to make sure that litigation, arbitration, and mediation will be complementary of each other, completing our judicial system. Third, to make good use of the advantages of the loop area so that we can focus on the development of biomedical sector, low-altitude economy, etc. We also want to invite the international corporation to set up the headquarters in Hong Kong. Second, we have to expand, allowing Hong Kong investor enterprises to adopt Hong Kong law to the other 7 cities in GBA. That is to make sure that it will have a comprehensive coverage. Second, we have to set up a cross-boundary online adjudication center so that the companies or arbitration institutes from local or overseas regions would have a low-cost platform. Finally, to establish a judge training academy in order to release this pressure on manpower shortage. Finally, to enhance the maximum claims from 75,000 to 100,000 Hong Kong dollars. 8, to promote the establishment of International Commercial Court, encourage it to receive cases that are related to chips, biomedical sector, INT, and AI-related industry so that it can become internationally quoted case law and enhancing Hong Kong's reputation. Finally, to establish an open source ecosystem and establish a secure online data platform so that different parties can benefit from such sharing of data. Finally, to roll out legal INT Fund 2.0, supporting young baristas as well as SME law firms to make good use of AI and to reduce the barrier of transformation. Finally, to develop the AI large model that are specified to our sector and to establish a railing system to stipulate guidelines of professional usage. 12. Making the IOMAT as a center and to establish clusters of commercial arbitration to enhance tax exemption of professional education, encouraging our legal talent to continue to brush up their skills. Number 14, encourage professional bodies to arrange for visits to Chinese mainland as well as overseas for promotion, to make sure that there are compliance facilitation so that when enterprises go global, there will be service supporting them in the areas of compliance. Number 16, to establish an information platform for GBA and to make good use of the talents of the GBA solicitors. These are the 16 proposals that I would like to propose. Thank you.
Mr. Sunny Tan. Thank you, Mr. Deputy. In the 15th five-year plan, it sets out the opening up of Hong Kong, and Hong Kong should play a role in the opening up of the mainland. Under one country, two systems, our institutional advantage is being the only place in the country that practices common law system. I'm grateful to Ms. Priscilla Leung, or Professor Priscilla Leung, for moving this motion so that we can leverage our advantage of having a strong support of the mainland and close connection with the world. The common law is built on a lot of economic activities, and this has been serving us well. As an international financial center, we are like New York, Singapore, and other places, and we're practicing the common law. We have high degree of transparency and continuity, and international investors will be able to assess the investment risks and make preparation for their investment. Our stock market is based on the common law, and the common law attaches a lot of importance to the spirit of contract and transparency. It is on the basis of the common law system that Hong Kong is able to build a highly liquid stock market. 2 years ago in Xinjiang, I met some officials from Kazakhstan. There are many Central Asian countries that are undergoing transformation, and they are seizing the opportunities arising from Hong Kong. I urged them to sign contract in Hong Kong because Hong Kong's common law system is highly aligned with the rest of the world, and there are a lot of talents who are conversant with the three languages, and we do have the advantages in terms of arbitration and mediation. The chief executive led the delegation to Central Asia and has yielded really tangible results. And this is a vote of confidence in our professional service. This has to do with our development. We should enhance and upgrade ourselves on a constant basis. Through a 5-year plan, we can solidify Hong Kong's position as a legal hub. If our arbitration and mediation can be developed, I'm sure that in the commercial sector, the operation time and costs can be saved and efficiency can be enhanced. This will contribute to the competitiveness, and we can contribute to the opening up of the mainland. Mr. Wan Kit. Thank you, Mr. Deputy. I speak in support of the original motion and the amendments. Professor Leung proposes that we should deepen the development of Hong Kong as an international legal hub. I go along with that. However, perfect the system is, the missing link is talent. Now, Dr. So talked about the digital transformation and the flow, cross-boundary flow of data. If we are able to have good discourse power, we have to do more in this area. The Education Bureau is launching the digital education, and I think this is not only an educational reform, this is also an important initiative to build up our legal system. We should develop the digital talents. The legal talents should not just be conversant with the law. They should also incorporate the AI knowledge into the curriculum. They should be sensitive to this area. They should be able to handle the digital side of the equation. And this is an important source for Hong Kong. We should use AI to upgrade the legal system. We should lead the world. We should introduce AI into the law school. LLM and AI should be introduced. We have to simulate the real-life litigation by using AI. We should take full advantage of the Hong Kong International Commercial Court and the Hong Kong International Legal Talents Training Academy to incorporate these elements to attract legal talents to Hong Kong to become the digital legal hub. We should develop a hub in the GBA under the one country, two systems and three jurisdictions. We should develop the cooperation in terms of digital legal system. We should consider the cross-boundary data transfer, and this can be a testing ground to enhance our competitiveness. We should use the digital standard or AI standard to develop our own soft power. We have to protect our privacy when we export this common law spirit and AI-based curriculum. We can attract better jurisdiction students to Hong Kong, and we can impart knowledge in this regard. Under one country, two systems, we can follow the digital development of the mainland while maintaining international faith. And Mr. Deputy, digital education blueprint and AI empowers education, and this is injecting long-term impetus into this brand. In the coming 5 years, I urge the administration to incorporate digital education and the development of the international legal hub into the system and nurture top-notch talents in order to buttress our position in the world. With these words, I support the original motion and the amendments. Mr. Wu Yingpeng. Mr. Deputy, I thank Professor Leung for moving this motion. In the 15th Five-Year Plan, it proposes that we should strengthen the foreign-related rule of law and also the arbitration and mediation, and make Hong Kong a litigation, arbitration and legal dispute center, resolution center. We have been enjoying the confidence of the world in this regard. We do have a very good foundation. Since 2018 to February this year, the Hong Kong verdicts have been cited 60 times globally. This speaks to the credibility of our verdicts. And Hong Kong is among the top 20th preferred seat of arbitration. The Hong Kong Arbitration Center handles 76% of the cases that involve the global community, and there are 53 jurisdictions involved. And there are many people that prefer Hong Kong as a seat of arbitration. Hong Kong's law is aligned with the rest of the world. This is really helping Hong Kong in fostering a fair, an equitable world order. Mr. Deputy, the Hong Kong International Commercial Court incorporates arbitration and mediation. It would be adjudicating complicated international or cross-boundary cases. It can also invite other top judges from other jurisdictions, common law jurisdictions, to sit in on the case. And we are also preparing for the establishment of the International Legal Service Building. I'm sure that would also be contributing to enhancing our position as a legal arbitration center. AI, digital asset, cross-boundary transfer of asset, low-altitude economy, and space economy, they are developing in an unprecedented way. We have to move on with the times. Not only should we buttress the traditional advantages like arbitration, mediation, and our expertise in marine law, we have to promote the legislation in terms of the frontier area. Stable coins and digital assets, we have been enjoying the leading position in terms of AI governance, low-altitude economy. We should really accelerate the establishment of the legal provisions. We should really have a stronger say in this area. Mr. Deputy, in terms of GPA standards and alignment, while respecting one country, two systems, and the basic law and the Constitution, I think in a contextual, context-specific manner, we should be having mutual assistance between the two places. There should be a regular exchange mechanism and discuss the nurturing of talents and legislative arrangements. We should adopt a progressive approach and get on with the low-hanging fruits and pick the areas that are of concern to the three different places like AI and low-altitude economy, and get on with the legislation and get on with the harmonization of the law. With these words, I support the original motion and the amendments.
Ms. Michelle Tang. Please switch on Ms. Tang's mic. Thank you, Deputy President. How can Hong Kong consolidate and elevate our positions as an international legal hub? According to the 15th Five-Year Plan, there is clear support for Hong Kong to deepen our building of an international legal and dispute resolution service center, as well as building international hubs for high-caliber talents, professional services advantage, as well as giving more role and accelerate the development of the IOMAC. So this is the mission given to us by Hong Kong. We need to leverage on our institutional strength to deepen building of the rule of law system. Now, our greatest advantage is that we are the only common law jurisdiction in the country under one country, two systems. And we are one of the rare common law jurisdictions with both Chinese and English as official languages. Now, under the one country, two systems and three jurisdictions layouts, we need to give more play to our roles as superconnectors and super value adder. Now, the government proposed to build the Hong Kong International Legal Service Building to house international mediation bodies, as well as the Hong Kong International Legal Talents Training Academy. Now, in the future, we need to be even more proactive in promoting our success story under one country, two systems. The rule of law spirit and our professional legal services are our strongest bulwark. We need to attract more Belt and Road projects to choose Hong Kong as the seat of arbitration. And second, the government should strive to legislate for emerging sectors and enhance the country's discourse power. New technologies and new model of economy has been coming into existence. Now we need to stay ahead of the trend in terms of AI, digital assets, cross-boundary data flow, low-altitude economy, and even aerospace economy. International players are striving to establish the most forward-looking rules so as to seize the dominant position in terms of discourse in the area. For example, AI, Hong Kong only rely on administrative rules to regulate AI. That includes the guidelines on using generative AI, as well as the Personal Privacy Office framework on AI-generated images. Now, these are just guidelines. We need laws to regulate the use of AI. Now, compared to the EU's AI Act, which has been implemented in 2024, there is already a sophisticated regulatory system. Now, we need to be innovative in regulation as well as creation. So we need to consider establishing and dedicating departments to supervise the healthy growth of emerging technologies, including AI, so as to strike a balance between advancement and security. Now, talents are the key for competitiveness. Now, I'm concerned about the career prospects for legal talents. Now, we should avoid a imbalanced economic structure. That means that only the emerging sectors are doing well and other industries are doing poorly. Now, an international human resource company has published the Asian Salary Index. Now, more than 35% of professionals in Asia have had their pay frozen over the past year. Now, we need to strengthen nurturing of cross-disciplinary talents. For example, in the legal service context, the 5-year plan should formulate a plan to nurture a new generation of legal talents and strengthen training on maritime law, foreign sanction law, as well as foreign-related law to nurture the talents we need. We need to urge the 3 legal schools in Hong Kong to increase the number of degree places for students. The contents need to be more aligned with the international world, and we need to bring in the IOMAT to establish the rules for the world. Thank you. Mr. Andrew Fan, thank you, Deputy President. Now, with the National 15th Five-Year Plan, Hong Kong is met with unprecedented opportunities of development. There is opportunity for us to promote the development as an international legal hub because of our core strengths. That includes a sophisticated and stable common law system, as well as a comprehensive international legal professional service network. And also the headquarters of the IOMAT has been established in Hong Kong last year. Now, in the policy address this year, the government plans to build the Hong Kong International Legal Service Building next to the headquarters of the IOMAT. Now, these supporting measures have highlighted the strength of Hong Kong as an international legal hub. I thank Professor Leung for moving today's motion so that we can put forward our views in terms of how to deepen the development of Hong Kong as an international legal hub. Now, there are 2 areas I would like to talk about. First of all, as an international logistics and shipping center, the industry has been an important economic pillar. Now, according to the Maritime Ports Development Action Plan, the industry accounts for 4.1% of our GDP. Ports and maritime industry supports the logistics industry, and the logistics industry accounts for 20% of our GDP. That's why we need to proactively establish a comprehensive supply chain to resolve disputes in relation to shipping and logistics. And that relies on building a rich talent pool. So I urge the government to continue to focus legal talent training on international law, trade laws, as well as maritime and foreign-related laws. For example, the Maritime and Aviation Training Fund under the TLB, law firms in relation to maritime law would be given a subsidy to recruit talents in the area. This is a good direction. But let's take it one step further. Enhance the injection of funding to raise the subsidy level so as to enlarge the talent pool for maritime law. Now, last week, the judiciary has announced the plan to establish the Hong Kong International Commercial Court to hear complicated and high-value international commercial disputes. Now, it shows that the litigation, arbitration, and mediation sectors in Hong Kong are complementary. We can form a one-stop, high-quality professional service supply chain. Now, riding on the strengths of the IOMET as well as our international legal service sector, we can attract overseas companies to choose Hong Kong to receive a comprehensive set of professional legal services. Now, the second area is in relation to geopolitical as well as technical challenges. Now, with the trend of using AI, we need to take a step further to establish a comprehensive regulatory and legal framework. We need to define digital ethics as well as the responsibility and liability. We need to prevent crimes involving AI. Now, besides these, with the more popular use of AI, the legal service sector has to be integrated with AI more proactively. We need to clearly define the guidelines on legal practitioners using AI and also the apportionment of liabilities when there is a mistake in relation to using AI. Now, there will be risk in embracing AI. Through establishing clear standards and rules, we can enhance certainty and reduce risk. At the same time, we can consolidate Hong Kong's strengths in the global competition and ensure that we can contribute to the high quality and high speed development of the country. Mr. Kenny Fok, thank you, Deputy President. I declare interest. I am the Deputy Chairman of the Sports Federation and Olympic Committee of Hong Kong. Now, with the support of the 15th Five-Year Plan, we will develop Hong Kong into an international dispute resolution hub. Now, we don't need to resort to litigation when there is a dispute. Mediation and arbitration are more cost-effective way to resolve disputes. If you choose litigation, then it is a one-way road. Now, in terms of sports disputes, sometimes athletes would have disputes with the organizers of the events, coaches, referees, and even sponsors. If we always have to take it to court, it will be financially painful, and it is a lose-lose situation for all parties. It's not good for the development of sports industry. If you remember the movie of Stephen Chow, Shaolin Kung Fu Football, the referee, the players, and the coaches should never be the same person, should never be on the same side. Now, sometimes the NSAs, National Sports Associations, and the SFOC would act as the go-between, sort of a mediator's role between different disputing parties. That's fine, but we should take a step further. When sports is becoming an industry, the money at stake has become much higher. So we need a third party. We need bodies with professional legal training, with a sports background to deal with these disputes. Now in Switzerland, there is the CAST, International Sports Dispute Center, but that's very far away. It may not be practical to take the case to Switzerland. Back in 2023, together with Mr. Chen Hu-feng, the CPPCC member of the legal sector, urged the government to establish a body to resolve sports disputes. Now, the Ministry of Sports in the country supported our idea. This idea was also supported by the government. Now, in the 2024 policy address, the chief executive announced the establishment of such a system. So I thank the government as well as the DOJ and also Mr. Horace Zhang, the undersecretary, for promoting this scheme together with the sports industry. That's why, in early this year, the pilot scheme on sports disputes resolution has been launched. It highlights the HKSAR's government's importance attached to this area. Now, I'm pleased to see that since the launch of the online dispute resolution platform for sports disputes in February, a lot of inquiries have been submitted. Now, just last month, the first case has been resolved. It shows that the platform is credible and supported by the sports industry at large. It is useful. Now, this is a good start. So, what should the next step be? Now, we have to strike ahead. We should grow the sector. Now, today's motion is on building Hong Kong as an international legal hub. Now, how can we radiate these success cases beyond Hong Kong? Now, in the 5-year plan, we should make plannings to promote our streams to other sports associations in the area and even in the world. Now, the sports sector will be happy to help. Now, there is an upcoming opportunity. In December, we will host the 28th general meeting for representatives of the Olympic committees in the country. Now, that's a good opportunity for us to promote our strength to the Olympic committees from 206 places in the world. Now, finally, talents. We have a lot of local mediators who have taken relevant courses as well as retired athletes. Now, international talents are also important. We need to attract more international youth to come to Hong Kong and take part in the mediation. Thank you.
Mr. Chen Zhou-Kwong. Thank you, President. Speak to support the motion by Professor Priscilla Leung as well as the amendment by Thomas So and Carmen. This motion is providing a direction for strategic high-quality development for the first 5-year plan of Hong Kong. It is leveraging the unique advantages of one country, two systems and taking the initiative of connect with the development pattern of our country. It is making good use of our core advantages, that is the common law legal system, bilingual legal talents, etc. With the establishment of the headquarters of IMAD as well as the International Commercial Court, we are already having the hardware that is world-class. However, in face of complicated geopolitical factors, we are in face of a lot of challenges that is foreign-related. we have to share our responsibilities. We have to train legal talents in maritime law, foreign-related rule of law, etc., so that we can become the protection against the risks that are involved in going global. More forward-looking is that in the motion, it mentioned about promoting digital access, cross-border data flow, low-altitude economy, space economy, etc. This is a competition regarding a comprehensive plan and blueprint. Whoever has the most comprehensive roadmap has the discourse power in that regard. We have become a trial or the pilot ground. By connecting with international standards, we can support the country to expand the discourse power in these emerging sectors. This motion are not just slogans. Instead, it is transforming Hong Kong's legal advantages to become a development engine. I urge the government to incorporate this motion into the first 5-year plan of Hong Kong so that we can use the rule of law as our transformation engine. With actual case, we can tell the good stories of Hong Kong. Thank you. Next, Mr. Jimmy Ng. Well, the reason why Hong Kong become a superconductor is one of the major reasons is a solid legal groundwork. And Mr. Paul Lam has listed out the 3 major advantages. First, internationalization, highly open, and the connectivity that we have. We are of very high quality. We are an international financial center and trade center. We have a high quality business environment. We also have good reputation and credibility. International investors choose to invest in Hong Kong because they find Hong Kong credible. Hong Kong is the only communal jurisdiction in the country. In the 15th Five-Year Plan, it is clearly stipulated that Hong Kong shall be deepened as the international legal hub and a dispute resolution center. And we also support Hong Kong and Macau in training of legal talents. I believe that in the first 5-year plan of Hong Kong, there shall be a specific chapter to deepen Hong Kong as an international legal hub in order to serve the high-quality opening up of the country. Previously, we have already discussed the strategic plan of a high-quality development of the country. I, at that time, had already mentioned that we have to be deeply connected with the strategic development plan of the nation. Second, we have to converge the wisdom in the grassroots level. Third, we have to make good use of our unique advantages and to deepen our development force. Number 4, we have to continue to brush up our own advantages. We cannot be satisfied or just stay where we are. We have to continue the construction of our position as an international legal hub. Taking Singapore as an example, they have incorporated litigation, arbitration, and mediation, and to make good use of digitalization. How about London? They are also deepening the development of maritime law. They are taking 60% plus of total case law globally. These cases tell us that in order to strengthen ourselves, we have to be innovate and to continue to improve ourselves. So this is my proposal. We have to be innovative. We have to be at the forefront to train our talents and to tell good stories of our advantages. Here are the 4 major measures. First, we have to take the advantages of the early development of the new industries. We have to develop digital economy, space economy, and low-altitude economy and its legislature. There shall be interdepartmental working groups so that Hong Kong can become the first pioneer of these emerging industries globally. Second, we have to become the talent hub of the legal sector. We shall invite talents of maritime law, international tax law, etc. I suggest we should connect with the 3 major law schools in Hong Kong and to increase the numbers of graduate degrees so that we can develop talents of a series of techniques and subject know-how. We should support Hong Kong in becoming a convergence of legal talents all over the world. Third, to complete international legal sectors in Hong Kong. According to Professor Leung, she has mentioned the establishment of International Commercial Court in Hong Kong, while together with the establishment of IOMED, we are even stronger in our advantages in incorporating litigation, arbitration, and mediation. At this moment, we have to strengthen our ties and judicial cooperation with the Belt and Road Initiative countries so that we can strengthen ourselves as a dispute resolution center. Fourth, we have to strengthen our brand building. Storytelling is one of the strongest measures. We have to take reference from the 10th case law of the country, and on a regular basis, we have to share these stories with a vivid narrative. On one hand, we will continue to build the brand of the legal services in Hong Kong. Second, we have to showcase the world that we are the example of one country, two systems. That's all from me. I support this motion and the two amendments. Mr. Holden Chow. President, first of all, I thank Professor Priscilla LEUNG for such a meaningful motion. I support her motion as well as the two amendments. In face of the ever complicated development plan globally, it is posing higher requirements on us in development. As the only communal jurisdiction in the nation, since we have close ties with international standards, we should continue to play our role as superconnector and super value adder. Among them, we should also focus on training legal talents. If you are aware, the CE has led a Central Asia tour visiting Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Much has been accomplished. The Bar Association have signed MOU with the other responding associations locally, laying a sound foundation for future development. I believe that the nurturing of talents can be found on the platform function of HKILTTA. Targeting at the BNR countries, we can roll out more short-term targeted courses so that Hong Kong can become a base for legal talents training in the Belt and Road region. There will be a batch of legal talents with international perspective as well as professional know-how. I am aware that there is a existing seconding policies, including the HCCA, the UNCITRAL, as well as UNIDROID. These are some international institutes with high reputation. Every year, we will participate in the Law Week in Hong Kong, while the secretary, deputy secretary, will have exchange with these high-level legal professionals. They are not just participants; they are actually co-organizing it with us, and it is showing that trust in our rule of law system. I trust that there is room for us to expand our exchange arrangement, including sending our talents to gain more experiences at their organizations. Apart from that, in 2025, as the deputy chair of DAB, I have assisted a student in the UK who was studying at the Political and Economic Academy in the UK. He came to Hong Kong and finally he secured an internship space in a local company. It is very inspiring because we have a lot of law firms of different scales and they roll out different internship programs. Very often, we are only offering this to local graduates. However, would it be possible for the Law Association or the Bar Association to open it to some foreign talents, regardless of their background? Maybe there are law students from the Belt and Road countries. If they have come to Hong Kong, if they have become our interns, they will become one of the people who tell good stories of Hong Kong and that of China. It will be instrumental in promoting Hong Kong as an international legal hub and a dispute resolution center. President, I'm also aware that recently the Court of Final Appeal, the Chief Judge, has already announced the establishment of International Commercial Court. We have a high expectations towards it because we know that they will be inviting a lot of judges of high reputation from common law jurisdictions. More importantly, well, when people look at the rule of law in Hong Kong, they will look at the case law in the commercial law systems. It is often quoted by other jurisdictions. I believe that we should continue to strengthen in this regard and to consolidate our publicity effort. Since the country has given us the position as an international legal hub, we should continue to focus on that. The headquarters of IOMAT is providing us with tremendous opportunity. I hope that make use of this discussion, we can continue to contribute ourselves so that we will be making ourselves useful in the 15th Five-Year Plan of the nation.
主席，我發言。
Ms. Ginny Man. Mr. Deputy, I speak in support of the motion and the amendments. There are two key points. The nurturing of talents, maritime law and arbitration mediation, and we should really nurture the right talent. This is fundamental to the creation of a legal hub. The government set up the International Legal Talents Training Academy, using our advantage in the legal matters. We are nurturing a lot of talents. There are different courses, and the results are really very tangible. And I hope that if more courses are run for Hong Kong lawyers, they would be conducive to enhancing the quality of our legal team. The government should incentivize the lawyers to equip themselves with the right legal knowledge. We're developing Hong Kong as a maritime industry center for the legal law students. This is not an attractive area, and they may be devoting a lot of effort, but they don't know whether this is a good area for development. There should be a matching arrangement before we will be able to develop this area in a meaningful way. And more students will be willing to take up this area of expertise. The second area is the enactment of law regarding AI, low-altitude economy. Now, these areas offer boundless potential for development, but there are no guardrails. There are new AIs, the generative AIs, that can generate text and also images. How can we tell that the images are generated by AI? There is a lack of standard the world over, and there is a trend to enacting legislation in this regard. It's a question of who is going to be enacting the guardrails there. If Hong Kong can take advantage of our legal advantage and come up with a standard that can be applied to the rest of the world, certainly we'll have a good say in this area. I think we have to have an appropriate standard that would be applicable. In these new frontier areas, Hong Kong is not moving fast enough because we have to be rigorous in our procedures. We need to rely on the DOJ to come up with the legislation. But do they have the right caliber talents? In absence of the talents, it would be hard for us to have these kind of guardrails. In the government, we may be running short of these talents, but I'm sure in the private sector there is an abundance of such talents. So I think the government can rope in the talents from the private sector to do this kind of work. We can also farm out the work to the private sector and involve these people in the drafting of the relevant law. And we can also listen to the views of the practitioners in the market to understand their pain points and come up with the regulation. I'm sure that way it would be far better for us to be able to come up with the relevant regulation. To build an international legal hub, we need to do more promotion overseas through the international platform. We can tell a good story of Hong Kong and let the international community see the true picture of Hong Kong. I hope that through the first 5-year plan, we can solidify our position in the legal sector so that we can do a better job going forward. Mr. Perry Yu. Mr. Deputy, the 15th 5-year plan supports Hong Kong to become a legal and dispute resolution hub. We should leverage our advantages of common law system and deepen the development in this area. Ms. Carmen said that we should leverage the opportunity of the International Commercial Court in terms of the low-altitude economy. Different municipalities in the GBA are working very hard. The government has set up a working group with the sandboxes in this area. But I think we have to handle the challenges arising from one country, two systems, and 3 jurisdictions. That in these frontier area, we need to have the right law. Under one country, two systems, we're practicing different legal systems. And this is a unique advantage of Hong Kong and in deepening our integration. And this is something that we have to contend with. In other areas, the different systems do possess quite a lot of challenges. And I hope that in building up the international legal hub, we should really promote integration and cooperation between Hong Kong and the mainland and resolve the bottlenecks. Mr. Deputy, the opening up of the Chong Ying Street is a case in point. I'm grateful to the administration for making Sha Tau Kok an interesting and attractive attraction. But this has not been developed as a popular site. I've proposed that we should have group in, group out arrangement. The visitors are not leaving Hong Kong. That way, when visitors are going to the Chong Ying Street, they may be half in Hong Kong and half outside of Hong Kong. I think in this kind of context, we need to have the legislative or the legal coordination to break down this bottleneck. Another bottleneck is the private jet service. This is really important for the headquarters economy. The top football club and corporates do have such a demand for this. We cover 490 different airports. But for the second, third tier cities, there is a need for breakthrough. The high-end visitors will have to take a circuitous route before they can get to the destination. For the top clients, this is not by no means a convenient mode. I urge the administration to have a pilot scheme to come up with a white list with one single clearance. They should be given all the facilitation measures. These will need the discussion between the two places. We also need to have a clear legal framework. Mr. Deputy, there are more solutions than there are problems. That the IVS has really provided us with a very good opportunity. Yachts going either way will involve a lot of complicated procedures. With the new policy, we have broken down a lot of the bottlenecks arising from the legal constraints. This has exhibited the bottom line thinking. If we are to build Hong Kong as an international legal hub, we have to assist people in resolving the commercial disputes. We also have to break down the bottlenecks. There should be harmonization in terms of the legal system. This will provide a good foundation for our future development, so I speak. Mr. Alex Fan, Mr. Deputy, to have a good legal hub, the hardware and software are also just as important. Global experience shows that this kind of hub must contain certain conditions. We must have an independent legal system, an open system, diverse range of legal dispute resolution system, arbitration and mediation, and cross-boundary implementation of arbitral awards. Hong Kong has a really robust foundation, but to deepen this experience, we need to do more. Take Singapore, for example. The dispute resolution system has been developing by leaps and bounds, and they have dealt with cases from 60 jurisdictions. The volume of cases has increased threefold. That they have the system which opens up the system to the outside world. They also have the commercial court in Singapore, allowing the foreign lawyers to take part to deal with cases which has nothing to do with Singapore. And this is also a strategic approach. By comparison, in Hong Kong, the involvement of foreign lawyers, there is still room for improvement. I've got 6 recommendations here. Some of them are rather bold. First, we have to accelerate the development of Hong Kong International Commercial Court. We have to take a leaf out of the book of Singapore, allowing foreign lawyers to take part, and we can hire retired judges to sit in on the cases to inspire confidence. Second, we should consider relaxing the restriction on foreign lawyers. In Singapore, the system means that the government will be selecting the foreign lawyers to deal with commercial cases. That manages to attract many headquarters to be set up. That the EIFC in Dubai introduces the UK common law system and allows foreign lawyers to practice and have advocacy in court, and this has become a legal hub in Dubai. Hong Kong is a place where we practice common law. We should be bold enough to introduce all these practices and foster healthy competition and strengthen our legal ecosystem. Also, there should be a reciprocal recognition of arbitral proceedings. There is room for further expansion. We can have Japan, South Korea, and Middle East as our partner, so that we can have the arbitral proceedings implemented elsewhere. There should be more legal summits to be hosted in Hong Kong. We should have the top-notch seminars involving the Law Society, and that there should be flagship summits converging all the top-notch legal practitioners in Hong Kong. Fifth, Hong Kong should be the preferred seat of arbitration. The common law system and the robust pool of talents are promoting the provision that Hong Kong be written into the contract as a seat for arbitration. 6. Cap 609, we should seize the opportunity to amend the legislation. I understand that the administration will be coming up with the consultation document. There should be the following amendments. The arbitration court should have the powers strengthened. The confidentiality clauses should be strengthened. There should be that Article 69, in terms of point of law, people can seek arbitration in court. This will have an invested state arbitration framework. We should also ESG arbitration rules. We should seize the initiatives regarding new economy and green finance. With these words, I support the original motion and the amendments.
Mr. Chan Pok Chi, Deputy President, the National 5-Year Plan has given clear support for Hong Kong to enhance our position as an international legal and dispute resolution services center. Now, the first Hong Kong 5-year plan to be formulated is a crucial piece of documents to align with the national development. Now, in terms of alignment of rules and mechanisms in the Bay Area, we need to legislate for the use of unmanned small aircraft. The use of drones is the country's national strategy. Now, in May, I moved a motion on promoting the high-quality development of the agricultural and fishery industry. Now, I mentioned that we need to enhance the use of drones in deploying resources to remote areas, monitoring fish rafts, as well as other purposes. But there is the issue on regulation. Now, in last year, the Sai Kung District Council has raised some suggestions on using drones to support the development of the agricultural and fisheries industry. Now, CAPT 448G small unmanned aircraft order has provided the preliminary framework on the use of drones. However, concerning beyond line of sight flight as well as other use scenarios, we still need to improve the law. Now, the first 5-year plan should include the legislation for low-altitude economy as a priority. Now, we need to enhance the weight requirements for drones. Now, for drones weighing above 2.5 kilograms, a parachute system will be required. And also the government has launched the low-altitude regulatory sandbox. The projects covered cross-boundary flights as well as passenger and goods carrying flights. The experience gained from the sandbox should be translated into standards in the law so as to allow Hong Kong to stay ahead in the regulation. Third, we need to promote alignments of rules between the three places. There should be clear flight rules in terms of the distance of flight, quality, and qualification of pilots, as well as contingency plans. This will promote Hong Kong to become a springboard for enterprises to go global and also help Hong Kong to gain an upper hand in setting the rules for drones in the country. Now, the use case scenarios of drones in the context of the agricultural and fisheries industry is less complex. It is suitable for pilot use of drones. For example, the water supplies department would gather water example with drones in hard-to-reach areas. Now, in the past, it was the norm to deploy human to inspect remote areas. However, that is not feasible during inclement climates. Now, with drones, we can establish pre-designed flight routes for the drones to gather the water examples along the route. Now, we should combine the use of high-tech technologies with traditional industries to empower the transformation of traditional industries. It highlights the need to promote legislation in relation to emerging areas. Now, legislation for low-altitude economy is important. We need to ensure flight safety as well as protection of personal privacy, while avoiding over-regulation, which will strangle innovation. Now, let's create a standard for drones, which can align with the country's rules as well as international standards. I support the motion and all the amendments. Ms. Julia Lau. Deputy President, I speak in support of the motion and the amendments. The first 5-year plan will be an important document for aligning with the country's strategy. It can also enhance our inherent competitiveness. Now, forging Hong Kong into an international legal hub is closely related to my sector, which is architect and surveying and landscaping sector. Now, with a law passed in last year, when there are disputes in an architectural contract, either party can appoint a recognized personnel to become an arbitrator. Now, the government has appointed many arbitrator appointing bodies, including the Hong Kong Institutes of Architects, Surveyors, and Landscape Architects. Now, these professionals can also become expert witnesses to resolve disputes in the industry. Now, infrastructure projects, land development projects, as well as housing projects, cross-boundary investment, financing for infrastructure, as well as cross-disciplinary projects require dispute resolution services. We need to align the rules between Hong Kong and the mainland as well as the international community. Now, we have a sophisticated common law system and also internationally recognized professional services. By participating in the Bay Area system, we can expand the reach of our professional services. Now, with a comprehensive foreign-related legal mechanism, professional services, including my sector, can go global and expand our market. At the same time, we need to consolidate the position of Hong Kong as an international mediation and arbitration center. We need to galvanize this brand. This is the core support for enhancing the recognition of our professionals. Now, cross-boundary international disputes on landscaping and construction projects are very common. Now, by elevating our status as an international arbitration and mediation platform on civil and commercial matters, while nurturing composite cross-disciplinary talents, can enhance our position as an international legal hub. It can also bring the professional services provided by my sector to the international world and help us gain more recognition. Now, in Hong Kong, we have the strengths of common law legal system and also the synergetic development of cities in the Bay Area in terms of cross-boundary flow of people, capital, as well as low altitude and aerospace economy, and also the infrastructure projects in the Bay Area. All these require deeper integration of the legal sectors in the three places. We need to grow the international mediation industry together and attract more talents to set up in Hong Kong. Now we can attract more international investors as well as professional bodies to set up in Hong Kong and strengthen our position as an international leading legal hub. This will give us more importance in terms of a bridge between the country and the world. Now, riding on the opportunity in building the Hong Kong International Legal Service Building and the Hong Kong International Commercial Court, we have to enhance the talent training system. We need to enhance the judiciary collaboration in the Bay Area. We need to leverage on our one country, two systems advantage to tell good stories of the country and the world. We should comprehensively consolidate Hong Kong's positions as an international arbitration and mediation hub. Deputy President, I so submit I support the motion and the amendments. Ms. Vivian Kong. Thank you, Deputy President. Now, according to the Tourism Board's latest theme, the campaign is called Only in Hong Kong. The core is to showcase Hong Kong's unique experience and brands. Now, one country, two systems and rule of law spirit are the unique strengths of Hong Kong. It has consolidated our position as an international legal hub. It is also important for promoting the high-quality development of the tourism sector. Now, combining legal services promotion with the tourism sector and convention and exhibition, we can introduce more international conferences, exhibition, as well as professional training courses to take place in Hong Kong. Now we need to encourage the legal sector together with the tourism sector to promote the events economy and bring together cultural tourism and conference activities. We need to lengthen the stay of high value-added tourists in Hong Kong. Now, concerning high value-added tourists in the finance and legal sector, a highly predictable business environment with rule of law environment is a good experience in itself. It can encourage these tourists to spend in Hong Kong. Now, promoting high-quality legal service can also promote developments of the tourism sector and the headquarters economy. For example, now the IOMED is the first international body to headquarter in Hong Kong. Now, this will attract more international legal talents to come to Hong Kong for conferences. Now, given the treacherous geopolitical landscape, we can attract tourists who are immune to short-term economic cycle. Business tourists are immune to these fluctuations. They would give us a strong demand throughout the year. Now, so we need to continue to enhance our legal services and attract global legal leaders to come to Hong Kong. They stay for a longer duration and spend more in Hong Kong compared with other tourists. They would give a boost to the convention industry as well as the tourism sector and other supporting sectors, creating a high value-added ecosystem. Now, besides hotel accommodation and catering, they would be willing to pay for in-depth itineraries as well. So we should enhance reception for these high value-added tourists, enhance the experience for them. For example, providing itineraries covering Tai Kwun, the DOJ's building, as well as the former Supreme Court. This is an in-depth itinerary in relation to the legal history of Hong Kong. This can also tell good stories of Hong Kong and the country and the basic law. Now, as a demonstration shown of the multiple destination itinerary in the Bay Area, as well as the legal hub, the international legal and business conferences would provide steady source of high value-added overnight visitors for the tourism sector. It can translate business tours into tourism itineraries. It will give us a unique position. Hong Kong will become a premier choice of arbitration as well as the premier choice of destination. Thank you.
Mr. Ken Wong, President. I speak to support the motion proposed by Professor Priscilla Leung. Real love is the most precious core value of Hong Kong. It is also the foundation to set it on the global stage. In fact, Hong Kong has a unique international standing in the legal sector. As one of the few jurisdictions who is still adopting common law system, Hong Kong is able to connect with the UK as well as the US. The case law under the common law system is highly transparent and predictable. It is providing a stable and reliable legal environment for the investors, and that is one of the major foundations for Hong Kong to become an international financial and maritime center. Apart from that, Hong Kong also is the house of many arbitration centers as well as law firms. And the International Arbitration Center as well as IOMED is highly reputable, attracting enterprises selecting Hong Kong as their first choice in dispute resolution. because it is also an independent jurisdiction under one country, two systems. It is ensure Hong Kong's unique position in the international stage, and that is why we will be able to uphold our rule of law brand, further consolidating our position as an international legal hub. The establishment of the 5-year plan of Hong Kong has set a new beginning of Hong Kong, and it is also strengthening our strategic support for Hong Kong as an international legal hub. We should continue to plan for long term on a multi-pronged approach so that we can continue to maintain our core competitiveness as well as international standing. I have 3 proposals. First, to expand the existing training scope and to enter into the university city in the Northern Metropolis. With the establishment of the Hong Kong International Legal Talent Training Academy, I suggest them to establish an international legal research institute in the Northern Metropolis, encouraging collaboration between Hong Kong universities and other tertiary institutions overseas, and to set up new courses. There shall also be a specific talent training fund so that there will be a dual cycle in this regard. Second, to strengthen the strategic collaboration between the Hainan Free Trade Zone and the IOMAT. The Hainan institution focuses on the resolution of commercial dispute, and it is one of the development engine in this area. As for IOMAT, since it is the first intergovernmental international body which focuses on resolving the dispute between countries as well as international enterprises, these 2 institutions can be complementary of each other. With the support of the Hainan institution, Hong Kong can continue to become a superconnector and super elevator. It will effectively enhance the country's impact in the governance area. Second, we should also deepen the collaboration between maritime and financial trade legal matters. We should continue to upgrade our position in putting forward an integrated dispute resolution platform with the focus on maritime plus, finance plus, and trade plus, so that Hong Kong can become a first choice of dispute resolution of complicated commercial matters. All in all, the rule of law is one of the major core competitiveness of Hong Kong. By deepening our collaboration with Hainan and to strengthen the talent nurturing in Northern Metropolis, we also want to encourage deep integration with other industries and research institutes. By doing that, we can become an international legal hub and contributing to the national strategic plan. Here is my summation. I support the motion and the amendments. Mr. Ken Lee. Thank you, President. I speak to support the motion proposed by Professor Priscilla Leung. The development of AI is ever-changing, and it is reshaping the industry of INT startup, and it is posing new demands to the existing legal structure. Without forward-looking preparation, it will be very difficult for us to maintain our standing, and it will also weaken our position as a role model in this regard. At this moment, we are already proposing a ethnic framework of AI development as well as that of GAI. At this moment, maybe it is not the right time for us to put forth any hard law. Therefore, it is critical for us to focus on the soft law, that is the code of practice within the industries, so that there will be the formulation of some practicable rules by the industries. And talent is of the utmost importance. Whether or not the rules can catch up with the development of technology, it depends on the type INT legal talents. In other words, the talents should have the background of legal training as well as INT subject know-how. One pillar is solid legal understanding. Second is the understanding about AI and foreign-related rule of law. And the bridge between the two is whether or not they can become a coordinator between different jurisdictions and systems of law. And this is one of the key areas of Hong Kong's future development. Taking Singapore and the UK as an example, through the School of Law and other departments at the university, they are joining efforts in developing hybrid talent. In Hong Kong, we also have similar degrees. In this area, we should continue to optimize our structure and talent training. For example, we can set up a thorough and comprehensive training for our legal talents. We can also provide training for those who are on the job already, so that such regulations can truly be put into practice. To do so, we have to nurture talents who have legal training, and we also need to be able to see how AI is shaping the market and what are the new demands in the market. With the generalization of GAI, there are a lot of enterprises that are promoting the market as AIOPC, that is one person corporate. This is very representative. If our legal system is still relying on the large corporations as the major promoters, no matter how down to earth our regulations are, it would be very difficult for us to regulate these micro companies, because the large corporations, they have specific legal departments to take care of legal matters. However, for OPC, they need to have something affordable. They need to be able to understand the potential legal responsibility caused by the use of AI. For example, in the guidelines, we can continue to develop some standardized contract as well as some protocol of the sharing of responsibility. We can also set up a code of practice at low cost. By establishing a platform, we can promote such regulations and guidelines in regard of the application of AI, so that these kind of OPC will be able to be compliant to the regulations at the early stage. President, in order to become an international legal hub, we have to make good use of our unique advantages, and we also have to respond to the new economic structure brought about by AI. The setting up of industry-related regulations is our starting point. By doing so, we can provide affordable and accessible, practicable regulations to the industry, so that we can continue to consolidate ourselves as an international legal hub. Here's my submission. I speak to support the motion and all the amendments. Mr. Aaron Book, President. The rule of law system and the common law jurisdiction in Hong Kong is its foundation as an international maritime and dispute resolution center, because we have this international perspective as well as the advantage of one country, two systems, three jurisdictions. We are one country with the PRC. We have the protection in regard of national security. As for the two systems, after the turnover of Hong Kong can remain high degree of autonomy, and it is also deeply connected to Chinese mainland as well as the global market. As for three jurisdictions, we are referring to the Judicial Department in GBA. We continue to deepen our ties in order to promote high-quality development. Here, we have achieved some obvious accomplishments in our collaboration. In 2025, in the International Arbitration Survey, we have become the second most popular location. In the 2025 Competitiveness Annual Report, we have been voted as the best location with commercial regulations. With the establishment of the headquarters of IOMAT as well as the International Commercial Court, we are being further strengthened. We should continue to consolidate our training of maritime legal talents, etc. I trust that we should also promote the engineering-related dispute resolution mechanism, so that we can leverage the advantages of Hong Kong in this regard. In project contracts, we shall select Hong Kong as a seat of arbitration, so that we can highly effectively resolve the potential dispute that cause in the course of construction. Focusing on the training of expert legal talents, we should target at providing some top-tier course training as well as some down-to-earth practical trainings. We have to leverage Hong Kong's position as a top-notch arbitration center. We also have a lot of practical experiences in resolving disputes in the BNR country. We have to line up local surveyors, architects, and legal professions in cooperating in these kind of legal training courses. Through cross-sectoral participation, we can bring forth transparencies and equity to the construction sector. By working with other industries, we can provide even more professional services by lining up all these professional talents. It will give us unlimited potentials for future development. In face of the advancement of technology, the dispute in the areas of finance, technology, etc. is becoming more complicated than ever. We do require professional talents that are able to tell the good stories. We need to have talents that are able to take care of litigation, arbitration, and mediation. We have a lot of talents in this regard. We have Ms. Chen Yuk-Hua, the then DOJ. She holds a degree of law as well as a senior barrister. She is very proficient in handling dispute in construction and engineering. She is also experienced in international mediation. She is also the first Asian female that became the Chartered Arbitration Association, as well as the president of International Arbitration Center. She is now the secretary of IOMED. In order to deepen the constructions of our infrastructure, we do require a lot of talent of this kind, and certainly we have a lot among this council. By doing so, we can consolidate our leading position among Asia Pacific, especially in the construction of the Belt and Road countries. A lot of complicated legal disputes might arise. We do require a lot of bilingual legal talents. By strengthening the nurturing of talents in this regard, we will be expanding our competitiveness, and we can also promote the sustainable development of such projects. That is my submission, Chairman.
Mr. Jonathan Lamport. Mr. Deputy, I speak in support of Professor Leung's motion and the amendments. The arbitration, the international dispute, can be really messy if the legal system doesn't offer certainty. The litigation can last for 3, 4, 5 years. SICC in Singapore, James also did say that international reputation is really something that transcends the national boundaries. The foreign investors would set the sight on certainty. So the HKICC is really supported by the business community. The CICC in Dubai and Qatar, they've already set up their own commercial courts. Hong Kong should really break away from the traditional thinking before we will be able to international capital. The International Commercial Court is really a challenging battle. Who has the good enough team of judges would be really good attraction. Article 82 and 92 of the Basic Law, it provides that the foreign judges can be invited to take part in legal proceedings. So I hope that the government should assist the expand the scale of the HKICC. Not only should we invite the top-notch judges, we should also have the experts in civil law. The government is expanding the Middle East market. There are hundreds of thousands of funds that are restricted by the Sharia law. There is the Sharia risk. Under the Sharia law, there is a restriction on collection of interest. But when this is taken to the Western court, the common law judges would normally ignore the religious tenets behind the contract and would mandate the compensation. And this is really severe in terms of consequences. If they breach the Sharia law, they would face the risk of being disqualified, and the profits will be confiscated and put into charity. And they would have a lot of hesitation that this is a golden opportunity for Hong Kong. I urged that HK ICC should incorporate the Sharia law experts. They should come up with a list. The court can appoint judges with the relevant background to hand down judgment in accordance with the relevant law. I think we can surpass London and Singapore, and Hong Kong will become the preferred seat of arbitration. The chief executive delegation to Central Asia mining resources items have been concluded, and we have the implementation mechanism for the civil and commercial law, and this will enhance the safety and security on the part of the investors. I urge the administration to use the first 5-year plan as the starting point and come up with differentiated Hong Kong International Commercial Court and make this a good start. Mr. Eric Yim. Mr. Deputy, rule of law means that we can maintain a position as an international financial center and attract a lot of investors to Hong Kong. We need to evolve with times if we are to maintain our position. And we have to have the right system and make improvement. We have to improve or make an improvement to the legal system. The law firms in Hong Kong are mainly small-time businesses. 45% are sole proprietorship. Law firms with 5 partners take up a small percentage. And many of them do not handle cases of international nature. And the European and U.S. law firms are monopolizing a lot of these significant cases. And I hope that the Law Society can improve the legal practitioners' ordinance and also the relevant subsidiary legislation and come up with reforms to strengthen the capacity of law firms in Hong Kong, broaden the spectrum of services, and buttress our position as an international legal hub. In Shanghai, they have introduced the partnership arrangement, relaxing the restriction on chartered accountants and professionals, and they can become the partners of law firms. And this marks a very significant step in the legal reform. To become an international legal hub is not enough to count on the legal experts. When it comes to IPO, international disputes, all cases will involve accounting, legal, taxation, or AI expertise. If the law firms possess these kind of expertise, as in the partnership, they will be able to provide a one-stop service, and they can really provide high value-added services. Hong Kong can take a leaf out of the book of the mainland reform, and also Singapore and European and U.S. Success stories, and relax the threshold for partnership, allow non-legal experts to become partners, and that way we can provide break down the barriers and provide various kinds of services. And we can have a whole spectrum of services available for the clients. And law firms will be able to be aligned with the international trend and upgrade their quality. Ultimately, this will empower Hong Kong's legal sector and give full play to their potential and serve enterprises that are going global. In December last year, the government come up with the list for enterprises that are going global. This will serve to expand the scope of services for Hong Kong law firms. And this will also align with the foreign-related legal services. The administration should seize the opportunity of the first 5-year plan and build the mid-term and long-term horizon of development. We should maintain liaison with foreign legal sectors and provide more opportunities for the legal sector in Hong Kong. And that way, the capital market will eye Hong Kong as a potential investment place. And this will enhance Hong Kong's position as an international legal hub. With these words, I support the motion and also the other 2 amendments. Professor William Wong. Mr. Deputy, the Chief Executive just concluded the Central Asia visit, and a lot of cooperation agreements and memorandum of understanding have been signed with Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. And this, I'm sure that this would deepen the cooperation with the BRI jurisdictions and RCEP countries. But certainly there will be differences in terms of legal system. A lot of countries are practicing civil law, whereas Hong Kong is practicing common law. With a different legal system, the contract, dispute resolution, there would be a differentiation. In absence of good alignment and a package of measures, it would be increasing the cost or because of the different legal system, or some of the contracts may fall through because of this. So in the first 5-year plan, I think we have to strengthen the function of Hong Kong as an international dispute resolution hub. I think we should use AI to empower the process. The common law and the civil law are different. And we should have the access to the contractual templates, and the requirements are very high. I mean, we have 1 country, 2 systems, and 3 jurisdictions over the past few decades. We have had a lot of experience in relation to the civil and commercial cases. We can leverage this wealth of experience and come up with a large model for this. In dealing with cross-boundary instruments, these experience would serve a very good purpose. Like the drafting of contracts and the translation of instruments, we can have regard to the different legal system and make adaptation. And this would reduce the threshold for alignment. We should harness our experience and provide good assistance to the cross-boundary cooperation along the BRI countries and help us develop the international market. Second, as the IOMAT is set up in Hong Kong, we should seize the opportunity to promote the advantages of mediation services in Hong Kong. And in terms of emerging technology and new economy, we should take full advantage of this. As AI is all the rage, I'm sure there are a lot of disputes will be arising, covering the ownership of computing power and the the ownership and so on. All these disputes would be complicated and cross-jurisdictional. If we can have the mediation mechanism, it will reduce the cost of litigation. It will also enhance the effectiveness of the mediation. Now, this is a people-oriented kind of work. The talent would count for a great deal, and this is the core of the proceedings. RCEP involved a diverse range of cultures. I think we have to have good cultural knowledge and get to grips with the different cultures and different places. We have to understand the values and the style of negotiation in order to achieve good harmonization and coordination. Hong Kong has a lot of talents with international perspective, and they have very good communication. All these mediators will have very good communication skills, and they do have what it takes to handle all these cases. Mr. Deputy, I support the motion and all the amendments.
Mr. Bill Tang. Thank you, Deputy President. I thank Professor Leung, a highly reputable legislator who is also very forward-looking, for moving this important motion. This motion focuses on Hong Kong's future competitiveness and also how Hong Kong can serve the country's needs in developing the nation's power. Now, under the National 15 Five-Year Plan, as well as our own 5-year plan, we should deepen the development of Hong Kong as an international legal hub. This is an imminent task, and we need to formulate strategic goals as soon as possible. In recent years, a large amount of mainland enterprises, whether they are leading enterprises or smaller businesses in the emerging fields, they are eager to go global, but the path is riddled with obstacles. There are unreasonable anti-monopoly checks, as well as data barriers, and also long-arm jurisdiction, and also unreasonable sanctions on the country. Now, with the civil law mindset, it is very difficult for mainland enterprises to navigate these obstacles. Now, according to a past experience, as well as the 14 Five-Year Plan, Hong Kong's development as the legal hub in the region as well as the world must be enhanced from a passive role to a firewall against risk as well as converter of rules. Now, this is about the allowing Hong Kong investor enterprises to adopt Hong Kong law and choosing Hong Kong as a seat of arbitration. We need to extend the scope of these two measures drastically. Whether the businesses are from Chongqing or Xi'an or in Shenzhen, when they go global, they can choose to use Hong Kong's law as well as use Hong Kong as an arbitral seat. Now, as the only common law jurisdiction in the country, Hong Kong's ruling can be executed in other countries like New York. Now, this is what businesses yearn for, that is legal certainty. What we need to build is a cross-boundary dispute resolution platform so that businesses can choose to resolve the disputes in Hong Kong, a place they are familiar with, rather than a foreign place. Of course, our legal service is of international renown. Now, second, we need to build our brand on technology and data. Now, we need to enable cross-boundary flow of data and have our IPs recognized in the world. We need to provide a safe haven or safe house strategy for mainland enterprises. We need to be a hub for intellectual property holders. We need to establish the intellectual properties for IP holders as soon as possible and protect their rights overseas. We need to deal with disputes arising from trademark disputes. We need to be the strongest shield for the country's technologies and IP. Now, ultimately, talents are important. Many question whether we have sufficient talents. Well, we have 3 extraordinary universities: University of Hong Kong, the Chinese University, as well as the City University. The 3 law schools have nurtured a large batch of legal elites who are familiar with international business laws and foreign-related laws. We also have top scholars in emerging technology field, but we need more of them. We are not trying to nurture legal supermen who excel in all fields. However, as an international legal hub, we need to pull together legal elites from all fields, assemble them into a team, and serve enterprises which are going global. I believe this is our unique strength, and this is our opportunity, one that we must seize. So I speak in full support of Professor Leung's motion and also the amendments. Thank you. Dr. Junius Ho. President, I support Professor Leung's motion on charting Hong Kong's first 5-year plan and deepening the development of Hong Kong as an international legal hub. I also support the 2 amendments. Basically, there are 3 main points here. Legislating for areas which are not covered by the law, making sure that the legislation can stay ahead with the developments of technologies like AI. 2, nurturing talents. Since we already have the headquarters of the IOMED in Hong Kong, we need to lean in on this mission given to us by the country. So in terms of international mediation or any litigation in Hong Kong, the efficiency, the formats, we must update it and enhance it. 3, besides software, we need to improve our hardware as well. Build the international commercial court, make sure that the IOMED is a success, and build a new district court building, the one in Caroline Hill Road. So these 3 areas have been our focus today. I fully agree with them, but I would add 2 on top of the 3. Now, I'm honored that on the 2nd of June, we visited the Supreme Court. We met with the judge there. Now, the judgments handed down by our Supreme Court are world-renowned. Even the Privy Council would use our case laws. Now, we have a lot of listed companies incorporated in BVI and Bermuda and so on, and Cayman Island. These are common law jurisdictions. And in Hong Kong, our high-quality judgments have become precedences for courts overseas, including the Privy Council, concerning similar cases. This means that we need to enhance the capacity of the Supreme Court even further. Over the past decade, I have been calling for the improvements of our Supreme Court. So far, there are 4 permanent judges, or PJs. Why not 5? Let's have more of them. Now, non-permanent judges. Why do we always have MPJs from the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada? There are so many common law jurisdictions. Why not invite judges from other common law jurisdictions as well? Why don't we have a long list of MPJs waiting for us to engage? We don't have to chart the 5-year plan. for this purpose, we can start right now. And also attire. We need to make sure that the attire of the judges are respectable but not archaic. It's fine to reminiscence on our history, but the robes of the judges are really clumsy, so we need to change the attire to stay ahead of the time. So we need to empower the Supreme Court by adding more NPJs to the list. And also, the common law system is great, but this is a common law system with Chinese characteristics. The common law system is not the sole product of the UK. Just like our country, we don't always claim that we are the creator, inventor of paper. Anyone can be a successful common law jurisdiction. I believe that's what the Hong Kong SR can do. A common law jurisdiction with Chinese characteristics. I so submit. Mr. Alan Chen. Thank you, President. I fully support the motion moved by Professor Leung as well as all the amendments. The country is implementing the 15th five-year plan as we speak, and the government is formulating the first Hong Kong five-year plan to promote alignment between Hong Kong's developments and national strategies. This has laid a policy foundation for enhancing our position as an international legal hub. Now, with the advantage of the common law system, we can unleash the bonuses arising from new quality productive forces. Now, I would make suggestions in 3 areas. First, enhancing digital governance to unleash the potential. Now, currently, the standard contracts for allowing cross-boundary flow of personal data within the GBA has been a success. Now, SME has a hard time financing nowadays. Now, according to reports, the Shenzhen Cluster's Innovative Index is top ranking in the world. Now, I suggest the government to enhance the Personal Data Privacy Ordinance within the framework of the country's data security framework. We should establish a mechanism for personal data's transfer and trading to attract cross-boundary or multinational companies to settle in Hong Kong. And second, we need to enhance the efficiency for the business sector. Now, in 2025, the judiciary has handled 520,000 cases, an increase of 9% compared with a few years ago. Now, at the High Court, for civil cases, the average waiting time is 5 months. For criminal case, the waiting time is 1 year. Let's look at Singapore. They only take 4 months to hear the cases. Now, patent examination in Hong Kong takes 2 to 3 years, and it takes 5 years to register the patents. In Singapore, patent examination only requires 1.5 years. For the express channel, it only takes 6 to 9 months. We are obviously lagging behind our competitor. Now, there are 4 pain points in Hong Kong. 1, a large number of caseload. 2nd, a lack of judicial manpower. 3, a lack of express examination channel for IP. 4, lack of digitalization. Now, compared with the express examination mechanism in the mainland and the Singapore, there are dedicated courts for approving patents. Now, in the US, the US PTO has a check 1 system, which is an express mechanism. In the mainland, there is an independent IP court. On the contrary, Hong Kong's judicial system lacks flexibility. So I suggest increasing the number of judges and patent assessors. 3, establishing expressways. 3, legislating for it. And 4, setting standard documents to enhance the certainty. Now, we need to rely on the IOMAT to enhance foreign-related law. In May Last year, a global summit was held with some 400 participants from some 200 countries. There were 41 signatories to a convention. Now, among the 24 recognized assessors recognized by the country, Hong Kong accounts for 10. So we should strengthen the nurturing of legal talents with knowledge in the common and civil law system, as well as bilingual. We need to tell good stories of rule of law in Hong Kong. I also submit and support the motion and amendments.
Mr. Nick Chen, President. In human history, every time there is a revolution in industry, there will also be support by a solid illegal system, including the use of steam engine, the use of major industrial tools. Likewise, today we are in the time of artificial intelligence. The surge of AI and space economies all over the world, although we have yet seen it taking form, but still we have to be prepared, and Hong Kong is at the crossroad. I speak to support the motion proposed by Professor Priscilla Leung, charting Hong Kong's first five-year plan and deepening the development of Hong Kong as an international legal hub. In the 15th five-year plan, it is stimulating to support Hong Kong as an international legal hub. It is not just a slogan, it is a historical mission that is given to us by our country. We have to grab this opportunity in terms of digital assets, data, cross-boundary flow, low attitude economy, space economy, and legal framework. We have to take the initiative and develop in this regard so that we can become the leaders. Well, this morning, people have mentioned about the development of AI, and the legal sector is busy catching up. This is very true. However, this is not showing our failure. Instead, it is the trumpet call for us to transform ourselves. It is not just concerning technology, the development of AI. It is also legal issues. In face of this trend, we not only require talents that know TOLAC, we also need to understand the type of law. Well, law tech is to make good use of legal tools to enhance our quality and efficiency. To be detailed, tech of law is talking about a more in-depth transformation. We have to understand the legal framework and monetary framework that are involved in technological development, including data privacy, accountability, governance of platform, protection of IP, cross-sectoral data flow, etc. I believe the two are complementary of each other. We need legal talents that are proficient in both, who can be truly competitive in the world today. The advantages of Hong Kong is solid and evident. We have the advantages of having a common law jurisdiction. We have both bilingual legal talents. We can bridge the gap between the two law systems in Chinese mainland and the international world. We have talents who are familiar with common law and the continental law system, and we also know about the latest development in the legal sector. We have to make good use of these talents so that they can show their light on the international stage. I want to suggest how can we transform all these in strategic deployment. Let's imagine if there is a commercial satellite that are being dismembered in the aerospace and hit at another satellite that are being shot by another country and causing humongous loss. Who should be compensating for it? According to whose law? And what shall it be ruled? On which platform shall it be ruled? In 1970, well, regardless, the responsibility, both party has to shoulder their duty of paying for the compensation. However, there is no international body that can execute these kind of penalties. If any party chooses to disregard the responsibility, no one can do anything about that. Therefore, we have to make it mandatory, just like the vehicles that are transporting on the road, we have to make it mandatory for them to purchase a third-party insurance. However, nowadays we are lacking mechanism. We are also lacking the regulations and definitions in areas like the ownership of space data. I believe that the initial founder is unable to predict the existence of SpaceX today, and that's why we see the gap. I suggest that Hong Kong shall become an international space legal issues center so that we can focus on developing hybrid legal talents. This is our future. Who has the pioneering talents in this regard will have early advantages in this regard, and we are the best choice in nurturing this kind of talents. Mr. Chan Yong, thank you, President, and thank you, Secretary Zhang. We are deeply thankful, and I also speak to support the motion proposed by Priscilla Leung, as well as the amendments from Thomas So, as well as Carmen. I want to speak on the topic of deepening the development of Hong Kong as an international legal hub so that we can contribute to the country while consolidating our own position. The central government really supported in developing ourselves as international legal hub. As pointed out by President Xi Jinping, if we have strong rule of law, we will be able to find our strength in other areas as well. Therefore, we have to make good use of the strength that we have. According to the 55-year plan, we see that we have to speed up the capacity building in the rule of law that are foreign related. According to CE, under one country, two system, Hong Kong is the only communal jurisdictions in the country. We have a healthy, comprehensive, highly efficient, and reputable legal system, as well as world-class legal and dispute resolution professions. We are also the most popular arbitration location in Asia-Pacific area. These are all the unique advantages that we have. On top of that, we have very legal, we have a very stable bilingual legal talents here. The world nowadays is full of conflicts, and our advantages of connectivity with Chinese mainland and the global world has become even more important. We also have a very comprehensive arbitration system. With the support of the Chinese mainland government, we see the establishment of the headquarters of IOMAT and also the coming soon ICC. We also have much room for deepening our development as an international legal hub, including the development of the structure of foreign-related rule of law, the connection between the three locations, and the connectivity of different standards. We need to nurture even more talents that are proficient in foreign-related rule of law. Our education has been focusing on the common law system. We hope that we can also nurture even more experts in researching in the legal matters, and also those who practice law. Well, last year, many members from the AB has made the proposal at the two sessions, which include establishing a list for law firms that focused on foreign-related rule of law, and to recommend lawyers from GBA to work at such firms in order to further develop the space in this regard so that we can better integrate into the international legal framework and to enhance the quality of the industry as a whole. We also suggest that we can take reference of the cross-border cooperation of law firms so that we can explore new cooperative models. For example, the corporatization of law firms. It is also strengthening ourselves in the new type of legal sector, including IP, maritime law, and digitalization. It will be strengthening the overall development of the sector as well as our international competitiveness. We also need to focus on the training on legal talents, as mentioned by CE. Well, he didn't just mention, he's actually leading a team to Central Asia and Southeast Asia. I trust that the Hong Kong International Legal Talent Training Academy has to prepare more short-term, mid-term, and long-term training courses, including a commercial dispute resolution, maritime arbitration, so that there will be even more exchange among the talents. There shall also be an establishment of an exchange system so that the local law firms and foreign law students would have more opportunities to collaborate. Well, in the first 5-year plan in Hong Kong under the leadership of CE, we should continue to deepen Hong Kong's position as an international legal hub. We shall become a super connector, super value adder, as well as a super partner. By doing so, we will be fostering and contributing ourselves to the stability of Hong Kong and the country. Mr. Wang Wing-Wai. President, today we are debating on the motion chartering Hong Kong's first 5-year plan and deepening the development of Hong Kong as an international legal hub. Well, according to the 15th 5-year plan, we are being commissioned with this strategic position. We have to make good use of our advantages in the industrial sector as well as our international position. I would like to speak on this area to see if I can make any contributions here. In Hong Kong, we have a bilingual common law system, a comprehensive dispute resolution structure, as well as a very rich professional legal talent. It is our core capacity in this regard. AI and digital assets has become the major battlefield. We see the coming up of new technology. The traditional legislature procedures is no longer fit for the development of the industrial. As mentioned, we see the differentiation of AI application scenario. There is no single legislature that can be applicable. I suggest that we have to refer to that of EU, so that on one hand we can safeguard our baseline while leaving room for technological advancement. By doing so, we have to provide guidance for the development of AI. For example, in Singapore and South Korea, they are rolling out AI development blueprint, focusing on digital economy and AI's application in people's daily life. I trust that we have to speed up our reviewing of existing legislation and put forward-looking amendments. We also recommend the setting up of a designated government department monitoring AI-related industries, because they cannot be full-range horses. There has to be supervision. We have to take up the responsibility of supervision so that the industry can continue to develop in compliance with the law and strike a balance between safety and development. Next, in order to manage the forefront technology, we have to look into the license issuing mechanism, taking reference of the financial sector through licensing and the acknowledgement of professionalism from the lower end of professionalism to the mid-end professionalism. We have to provide them with some practicable compliance regulations. We have to look into the practical guidelines of AI. Before we roll out the official guidelines, we should first take a reference of those rules that are being used in the universities so that we can expand it all over the society to prevent abuse of the AI. Digital economy or digital assets is a twin with the use of AI. In order to deepen Hong Kong as a development of an international legal hub, we have to take another step forward. First of all, the government shall stipulate digital assets management system to outline Web 3.0 activities, area, and scope. We have to provide a legal foundation for cross-boundary digital assets exchange. We also need to collect digital data and to complete the safeguarding of the data flow so that we can continue to prosper. Finally, we have to deepen cross-boundary collaboration. We have to take the initiative to connect with the local governments in the GBA so that there will be a white list for data sharing. Upon the compliance of the country's data policy, we shall be able to exchange data in order to break through the development bottleneck at this moment. With new measures in place, we will have the discourse power in these emerging sectors. Hong Kong has deep connectivity with Chinese mainland and the global market. We have to be flexible and forward-looking. Our legal system shall be able to cover both AI, and we also need talents that are proficient in foreign-related rule of law. We have to be both the pioneer leader as well as a participant, so that we will have a better discourse power in the market. We are here to tell the story of the success of one country, two systems, and to consolidate our position as an international legal hub. This is my submission.
主席，
Mr. Augustine Wong. President, I support Professor Priscilla Leung's motion charting Hong Kong's first five-year plan and deepening the development of Hong Kong as an international legal hub, and also the amendments. The first five-year plan aligns with the national 15 five-year plan, and this is mapping out Hong Kong's way forward. Today's topic is about the international legal hub. I think the other sectors are just as important. But in any case, I support the original motion and the amendments. We should leverage our advantages as an international legal hub. Hong Kong is the only place in the country where we practice common law system, and this advantage enables Hong Kong to enjoy the support of the motherland and enjoy close connection with the world. And this is fundamental to Hong Kong being a free port. I think we have to leverage this advantage fully. This goes hand in hand with the international legal hub. Capital moves freely in and out of Hong Kong. We have a low taxation regime, and a lot of economic and financial activities are taking place in Hong Kong, and this has generated a lot of demand for arbitration and legal dispute resolution. The motion and the amendments urge Hong Kong to take full advantage of the IOMET and also the ADR. I support this proposition. I think with a good and robust system, we can buttress our free port position. Like a chamber spokesman said that he is confident in the system in Hong Kong. This is very attractive to foreign investors. There is a free movement of capital and talents. When it comes to disputes, people can move the cases to the ADR, and this is offering them protection. This is the advantages we have under one country, two systems. I subscribe to this idea. Hong Kong is a gateway for people to gain access to China and also for mainland enterprises to go global. I think we have to strengthen the legal system and give full play to Hong Kong's values. And there is a mention of digital asset, the cross-boundary flow of data and AI. These are just important frontiers, and this has to do with the development of Northern Metropolis. We can have more flexible sandboxes in the Northern Metropolis and develop a system which is aligned with the GBA. And we can also take advantage of in the international legal hub and attract more talents to set up the presence here. I am of the view that Hong Kong can set up the GBA standard and the national or standard that is aligned with the national standard, and leverage the unique advantages of one country, two system, and lure investors to Hong Kong and redouble our effort to tell a good story of Hong Kong and burnish our image internationally. We should publicize the one country, two systems and make Hong Kong a preferred international hub or legal hub. Right, unless there are any other members who wish to speak, Professor Priscilla Leung, you may now speak on the amendments. President, I thank Dr. So and Ms. Khan for moving the amendments. I fully support them as well. After I submitted the motion, the International Commercial Court hasn't been announced, so I haven't incorporated that in my motion. But in March, at the MPC meeting, I've been urging for the idea to be implemented. I had a grander vision. I thought that this court should be like the IOMET with other jurisdictions taking part. Hong Kong becomes the headquarters, and we should enjoy the status that is enjoyed by the UN, and we can deal with the international cases in this commercial court. Hong Kong has we have Articles 82 and 92, and we do have a lot of experience in this regard. Now, this is a commercial court that we are proposing is a little bit different from my idea because this is predicated on the legal system in Hong Kong. It is a dedicated court using the Hong Kong procedures in their proceedings. So I hope that we will be working harder on this. And one of these days we will be able to have a commercial court which is at a global level. Now, why is it that after IOMET we still need the International Commercial Court? It is because it's only with the court verdicts that would be open and fair and transparent, and the rulings will be cited and held up as an example, and people will be able to see our capacity. Arbitration is about resolution of issues, and mediation would be predicated on the interests of both parties, not about right or wrong under the law. So I think the three dimensions are just as important. Now, many members said that we have the one country, two systems and the basic law, and this is serving us very well. So with these available, we will be able to do well, and we derive our confidence from one country, two systems. I think the legal sector, the members who move the amendments, and indeed all the rest of the members would join us here. Any investors would like to enjoy legal protection, whether you're going global or whether you are coming here. They would like to have their capital properly protected. It is high time we gathered together and publicize one country, two systems, cross-jurisdictional, cross-disciplinary cooperation would be terribly important. It's only then that we can make Hong Kong an attractive place for investment. So I hope you will join me in supporting the two amendments and tell a good story of the Constitution of one country, two systems. Thank you.
Deputy Secretary for Justice. President, once again I thank Priscilla Leung, Professor Leung for her motion, and also the two members for their amendments. I also thank all the members who have just spoken for their inspirations. We will carefully consider your suggestions and study them together with the relevant policy bureaus. Taking this opportunity, I would like to share with you the DOJ's strategies to promote Hong Kong to become an international legal and dispute resolution service center, and also to reply to members' concerns and suggestions. First of all, we fully agree with all the members that in our first 5-year plan, we have to showcase our unique strengths in terms of common law system. The DOJ will continue to enhance the legal framework for dispute resolution while promoting our advantages in this regard in the country and the world, tell good stories of one country, two systems and the basic law, and showcase our advantage in rule of law as well as our role as a bridge between the country and the world to consolidate our position as an international legal center. We are pleased to hear members' views on our work on promoting the operation of the IOMED. Now, it is of strategic importance that just last month, the IOMED has successfully handled a dispute in relation to ship chartering, with the charter parties being parties from the country and Singapore. It has milestone significance for our position. And also, with the support of the DOJ, the IOMED has hosted the first Global Mediation Summit in Hong Kong last month. The summit has attracted some 1,000 participants, both online and offline, from 60 countries and places. It shows the recognition given to Hong Kong by the international community. The SAR government will continue to support the work of the IOMED and encourage enterprises to include dispute resolution model clauses of the IOMED in their international or cross-boundary commercial contracts, so as to promote the role and work of the IOMED. Many members supported the building of rule of law in the Bay Area, and they urge us to enhance our work in enhancing the alignment of rules and mechanisms in the Bay Area. On that, we'll continue to work with the stakeholders to promote the GBA standards, as well as regularizing the GBA lawyer system. We will also strive to complete the legislative work for implementing the new judicial documents serving arrangements in terms of commercial and civil matters. Now, with the amendments to the arbitration law, as well as the new regulations on commercial mediation in the mainland, we will study to establish more innovative alignment measures with regard to the development characteristics of both places. Many members have spoken of the importance of talent training on the bid for Hong Kong to become an international legal center. Now, we will continue to support legal talent training in terms of international law, maritime law, and international arbitration and mediation, so as to consolidate our position as an international shipping center and legal and dispute resolution center. We will provide strategic support for enhancing the country's competitiveness in the global shipping industry and foreign-related law. Now, in terms of International Legal Talent Training Academy, this year the Academy will organize many programs in relation to international law and maritime law with other bodies. That includes the workshop on the use of international legal documents in cross-boundary commercial disputes and the digital economy, co-hosted by the International Legal Talents Training Academy and the Asia Pacific office of the HCCH during the 3rd APEC Senior Officials Meeting to be held in Dalian in August this year. Now, many members have reminded us that we need to enhance the elements of law tech in the training courses. Now, in this regard, through the Legal Training Committee, we have been working with the 3 law schools as well as other professional bodies to include law tech elements in training courses. Now, at present, the legal schools have already included application of law tech in their courses. They are also educating the students on the ethics on the use of technologies in the legal context. Now, many members have given their support for the judiciary to establish the Hong Kong International Commercial Court. As I've said, the court will focus on international commercial cases, which are highly complicated and with high value. Reputable judges from other common law jurisdictions will be invited to participate in the hearings. The judiciary will formulate dedicated codes of procedures and streamline the workflow to ensure that these cases are being dealt with in a highly professional and fair manner. The government will support the preparatory work of the Hong Kong International Commercial Court so as to elevate our standing further. Now, today's motion and members' views have echoed the 15th Five-Year Plan. Your views are of a macro perspective and covering a wide range of area. Besides the legal sector, your views have also touched upon the areas of innovation and technology, finance and investments, logistics and transport, as well as commerce and economic development. Now, in developing emerging areas, it is important to establish an effective regulatory regime as well as legal framework which stays ahead of time and connected with the international community. In terms of digital assets, in June 2023, the government has implemented the licensing regime for virtual asset trading platforms. So far, there are 13 licensed virtual asset trading platforms. With our joint efforts, the ecosystem of digital assets in Hong Kong is growing robustly with international recognition. According to the latest Global Financial Center Index, Hong Kong ranks #1 in the world in terms of fintech. The next step of work is to establish a regulatory regime for the trading, custodianship, and consultation and management services of virtual assets. The regulatory framework must cover the entire ecosystem so as to promote responsible financial innovation. The system must be credible and sustainable. Now, the government is now working on the legislative proposals together with the SFC so as to introduce a bill within the year. Concerning low-altitude economy, as an international aviation hub and I&T center, Hong Kong has the unique strengths to promote standardization of low-altitude economy. We are actively aligning with the objective set out in the 15th Five-Year Plan, that is to promote the healthy and orderly growth of the low-altitude economy. We have established the working group on the development of low-altitude economy. Work includes launching sandbox pilot projects as well as legislative amendments to lay foundation for the long-term standardization of low-altitude economy. So far, there is yet to be a set of universal standard and advised practice in terms of emerging technologies in the international community. The government will continue to participate in the discourse at an international and regional level and also share our experience to support the country to make use of its advantage as a pioneer in the field and enhance its power of discourse. Concerning commercial aerospace, it is a strategic emerging industry of the country and also a new quality productive force for building an aerospace powerhouse. To align with the 15th Five-Year Plan, we will launch different measures, including streamlining the application mechanism for license of low Earth orbit. Low Earth orbit is a new development trend in the world. It is applicable to areas including Internet of Things, navigation, remote sensors, as well as connectivity with satellite internet. They can support development of high value-added industries. The CDB and the OFCA have completed study on streamlining the approval for low Earth orbit operation license. The government is now hammering out the details so as to announce the details within the year. Concerning AI, we attach huge importance to the governance and risk prevention in the use of AI. We have been coordinating different departments to jointly review and update the guidelines and legislation so as to flexibly deal with the new challenges and opportunities brought about by the development of the technology. We will explore to further strengthen Hong Kong's governance capacity in dealing with AI and data risk, application safety, governance standard, as well as internet safety through legislation and establishing a governance framework. The DOJ has established an interdepartmental working group to conduct full comprehensive review on the adaptability of our laws on AI development. We are also studying regulatory measures on risk in relation to AI so as to strike a balance between technological developments and risk prevention. Some members mentioned sports dispute resolution. Now on that, I thank members, in particular the sports industry as well as the community at large for supporting us so as to launch the pilot scheme on sports dispute resolution. We will take tally of the experience gained from the pilot scheme and leverage on Hong Kong's advantage in dispute resolution services. We aim at forging Hong Kong as a sports dispute resolution center in Asia. Now, under Hong Kong's 5-year plan, legal professional services is no longer a piece of retrospective tool, but rather an engine driving innovation of industry. Together with other professional services, they form a vehicle which can take mainland and overseas businesses to tap the overseas market. President, the National 15 5-year plan has given clear support for Hong Kong to better integrate and serve the country's development blueprint. It focuses on deepening our position as international legal and dispute resolution center. The key word here is deepen. In other words, we must enhance both the quality and quantity of our work. We will study carefully members' views so as to leverage on our strength to serve the country's needs. We will be pragmatic in taking forward the work. Thank you. I so submit.
I now call upon Dr. Thomas So to move an amendment. President, I move my amendment. I propose the question to you that the amendment moved by Dr. Thomas So be passed, and I'll put the question to you as stated. Will members please proceed to vote? Members, please press the present button. With those in favor, please raise their hands. Those against? I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present, that is those returned by EC and those returned by FC and GC. I declare the amendment passed. Ms. Carmen, as the previous amendment has been passed, you may move your further amendment. President, I move my further amendment. I propose the question to you that the further amendment moved by Ms. Carmen be passed, and I'll put a question to you as stated. Will members please proceed to vote? Members, please press the present button. With those in favor, please raise their hands. Those against? I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present, that is those returned by EC and those returned by FC and GC. I declare the amendment passed. Professor Leung, you have 1 minute 22 seconds. Madam President, the rule of law is the key to development, and talent is also just as important. There are 33 members who have spoken on my motion, and this motion is not simply about the legal sector. Any reform would be predicated on the law. We are talking about the investment environment. We're loosening up the barrier in this area. The country is launching a lot of service hubs in order for Hong Kong to become the best legal hub brand. I'm pleased to hear that members are talking from their background, from diverse background, like the arbitration in sports, engineering, maritime engineering, and so on. I urge members to join us to build Hong Kong as one of the best legal hub brands, and make Hong Kong one of the most attractive investment center. We are here to serve the overall national development. Please support my motion. I now put the question to you that the motion moved by Professor Priscilla Leung as amended by Dr. Thomas So and Ms. Carmen be passed. Will members please proceed to vote? Please press the present button. With those in favor, please raise their hands. Those against? I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present, i.e. those returned by EC and those returned by FC and GCs. I declare the motion as amended passed.